Hare
Hare Krishna.
all glories to Guru and Sri Gauranga. Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Good morning. We'll continue. We'll continue to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, the status quo, Chapter 1, entitled Questions by Vidura, text 33 and 34. Text 33 and 34. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
We'll recite two verses today. First one we can repeat. The second one I will recite. This is text 33. Kachichivam devaka bhojaputrya Vishnu prajaya iva deva matu Yavai swagarbhena dadhara devam Trahi yatha yajna vitanamartham Kachichivam devaka bhojaputrya Vishnu prajaya iva deva matu Yavai swagarvena dadhara devam Trahi yatha yajna vitanamartham Kachichivam devaka bhojaputrya Vishnu prajaya iva deva matu Yavai swagarbhena dadhara devam Trahi yatha yajna vitanamartham. Please recite.
Kachchichivam devaka bhojaputrya Vishnu prajaya iva deva matu Yavai svagarbhena dadhara devam Triyata yajna vitanamartham.
Anyone else want to try?
Kachchichivam devaka bhojaputraya Vishnu prajaya iva deva matu Yavai swagarbhena dadhara devam Trahi yatha yajna vitanamartham.
Thank you.
Kachichivam Devaka Bhojaputraya Vishnu Prayaja Iva Deva Matu Yavai Swagarbhena Tadhara Devam Trayata Yajna Vitanam Artham. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. We can do the synonyms. Kaschit, whether. Shivam, everything well. Devaka bhoja putriya, of the daughter of King Devaka Bhoja. Vishnu Prajayaha, of she who gave birth to the personality of Godhead. Eva, like that of Deva Matu, of the mother of the demigods, Aditi. Ya, one who, Vai, indeed, Swagarvena, by her own womb, Dadhara, conceived, Devam, the Supreme Lord. Trai, the Vedas. Yatha, as much as. Yajna Vitanam, upspreading the sacrifice. Artham, purpose. Translation. As the Vedas are the reservoir of sacrificial purposes, so the daughter of King Devaka Bhoja conceived the Supreme Personality of Godhead in her womb, as did the mother of the demigods. Is she, the Devaki, doing well? Purport. The Vedas are full of transcendental knowledge and spiritual values, and thus Devaki, the mother of Lord Krishna, conceived the Lord in her womb as the personified meaning of the Vedas. There is no difference between the Vedas and the Lord. The Vedas aim at the understanding of the Lord, and the Lord is the Vedas personified. Devaki is compared to the meaningful Vedas and the Lord of their purpose personified. The second verse, let me read the second verse also. 34. Api sidaste bhagavan sukham va yasatvatam kama dugha niruddha yamamananti smahi sabdayonim manomayam sattvaturiya tattvam. Translation. May I inquire whether Aniruddha is doing well? He is the fulfiller of all the desires of the pure devotees and has been considered from yore to be the cause of the Rig Veda, the creator of mind, and the fourth plenary expansion of Vishnu. Purport. Adi Chaturbhuja, the original expansions from Baladeva, are Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. All of them are Vishnu Tattvas, or non-different personalities of Godhead. In the incarnation of Sri Rama, all these different expansions appeared for particular pastimes. Lord Rama is the original Vasudeva, and his brothers were Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. Aniruddha is also the cause of Mahavishnu, from whose breathing the Rig Veda appeared. All this is nicely explained in the Markandeya Purana. In the incarnation of Lord Krishna, Aniruddha appeared as the son of the Lord. Lord Krishna in Dwarka is the Vasudeva expansion of the original group. The original Lord Krishna never leaves Goloka Vrindavan. All the plenary expansions are one and the same Vishnu Tattva, and there is no difference in their potency. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksharan Militam Yena Tashmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirbhisesa Sunyavadi Paschyata Desatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. I would like to seek blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas, before share some of the points from this two verses. Very philosophically, very profound verses. I beg your blessings, so I can share. Here, Vidura is inquiring to Uddhava further about the well-being. Vidura being long time away from home, a long time away from home, traveling to pilgrimage, taking association of the devotees, hearing about Krishna Katha, inquiring. Now, when he meets Uddhava, he's very pleased and inquiring all this well-being of everyone. And particularly, this verse is asking about Devaki. Devaki, who went through a lot of difficulties in her life. Janmashtami is coming, just perfect time to meditate. Devaki went through so much of difficulties, being born in a royal family, Vasudev's sister, and she was she's daughter of Devaka, and that's why she's known as Devaki. And just as the marriage ceremony is over, she was being bade farewell, accompanied by Kamsa. This voice comes from the sky for Kamsa, saying that the eighth child of Devaki will be the death of Kamsa. So as usual, Kamsa, being a demonic person, very much disturbed, too much of disturbed out of fear, and she tormented and punished Devaki in so many ways. It's unbelievable in the history. Captured her, tried to kill her, and finally, with agreement with Vasudev, he agreed that Devaki's 8 children will be handed over to Kamsa. So mercilessly he killed 6 children. He killed 6 children, and by imprisoning Devaki in Vasudev. So being a mother of Supreme Personality of Godhead in this world also, she had to go through so much of difficulties. So much of difficulties. But, my understanding that the devotees always take as, remember Krishna for the protection, pray to Krishna for their protection, and depend on him, and still constantly grateful. As Brahma offers prayers, Tattanukampa Samikshamana, is as they accept as the Lord's mercy at the same time. So Devaki and Vasudev, they constantly remember the personality of Godhead because of their advanced devotion to serve the Lord as their child. Lord Krishna appeared in the womb of Devaki. So now Krishna here mentioned is that some points, I have more notes for the next verse, but some points to meditate on this. It says that the Vedas are the full of transcendental knowledge and spiritual values. So Veda means knowledge, and everyone in this material world is by default in darkness. By default in darkness. In material world, there's something called education is needed for every living entity because everyone is in darkness. Material world is inevitable. Education is necessary. This morning I was hearing from Prabhupada that he was referring to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's poem about the material education, the so-called education, Jada Vidya. Knowledge is meant to bring us out from ignorance, free us from ignorance. That's the purpose of knowledge. But the so-called knowledge is putting us more and more into darkness of ignorance constantly. Why? Because the current education system we can see is planned in such a way that we constantly try to load over the material world and enjoy become the slave of the senses more and more. It's called Jada Vidya. But the knowledge is meant for to free us from the darkness of ignorance. That's why with the creation of material knowledge, this Vedas also manifested. And what is that Vedas? The Vedas will declare and educate the conditioned souls about that reality. And what is reality? That Krishna is all in all. He is the original personality. He is the source of everything. He is the cause of everything. Vedashta sarva ahmeva vedya. The whole purpose of the Vedas is we know Krishna, we understand him, we know, and that's why we can be situated in knowledge and devotion. So Prabhupada, he writes, Vedas are full of transcendental knowledge and spiritual values. And thus, Devaki, the mother of Lord Krishna, conceived the Lord in her womb as the personified meaning of the Vedas. And Krishna himself appeared in the womb of Devaki. And Devaki conceived Lord Krishna, who is considered as personified Vedas. Because the purpose of the Vedas is to know, to get Krishna, to realize Krishna, to achieve Krishna. So in this way, poetically, Vidura is addressing, glorifying Devaki, that she has conceived the personified Vedas, which is Lord Krishna. Is she doing well? Is she doing well? This is here, as did, there's one more point is given, as did mother of the demigods. I understand that this is in purport, it's not there. I understand that this is referring to Aditi as Vamanadev. Vamanadev also appeared as the son of Aditi. And my understanding, that is what is meaning, as did the mother of the demigods. Aditi also gave birth, Vamanadev appeared as son of Aditi, as compared, and that's what my understanding. So Vidura is inquiring, is Devaki doing well? Now the next verse is says, he's also inquiring about Aniruddha. Aniruddha has a very interesting personality in Lord's expansion also, because Aniruddha is one of the original quadruple expansions. Adi Chaturbhuja, the original expansions from Baladeva, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. So Aniruddha is one of the original Adi Chaturbhuja personality. So he's asking if Aniruddha doing well. He's also addressing Aniruddha as fulfiller of all the desires of the pure devotees, and has been considered from the Yor to be the cause of the Rig Veda. And here it says that cause of the Rig Veda. I have some notes from Prabhupada's different places I want to share with you. Just one second. Interestingly, I don't know what is which one we should accept. Different places Prabhupada has given different, from one of the lecture in May 1969, Columbus, about Aniruddha's position is given. Not Aniruddha, sorry, about the which is the original Vedas. From one of the lecture he mentions that, so in order to favor the people of this age, Vyasadeva divided the original Atharva Veda into 4 parts: Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Atharva Veda, and Yajur Veda. So that class Prabhupada said Atharva Veda is original Veda. Then from Srimad Bhagavatam class, which is on December 22nd, 1970, Surat Prabhupada mentions Srimad Bhagavatam class. This is not the book. All Vedas means originally there was one Veda, Rig Veda. Then Prabhupada says, or somebody says Atharva Veda also. Here he said the Rig Veda originally, then somebody said Atharva Veda. Then later on it was divided into four: Rig, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva Veda. So here it says, Prabhupada said Atharva Veda, he says Rig Veda, and somebody says Atharva Veda. Then I was looking into Vyasadeva's compilation or Sutta Goswami. I think, yeah, Sutta Goswami mentions here. Chaturhotram karma suddhadam prajanam bhiksha vaidikam vyadgadhya sanyaste vedamekam chaturvidham. Interestingly, formerly there was only the Veda of the name Yajur, and the four divisions of sacrifice were there specifically mentioned. So Vyasadev or Sutta Goswami mentions as the Vedas, formerly there was only one Veda, Yajur Veda. So here mentioned Yajur Veda. Prabhupada wrote Atharva Veda and Ruk Veda. Just sharing this, different places mentioned differently. And from today's verse, we see that Aniruddha has been considered from the Yod to be the cause of Rig Veda here. Rig Veda, Aniruddha has been considered is cause of the Rig Veda. So basically here, I understand the original Veda is Rig Veda, and then Bhagavatam in first canto explains Yajur Veda, and Prabhupada somewhere says Rig Veda, then Atharva Veda. So, we can discuss if you have anything on this subject also. But nonetheless, Krishna is the cause of all the Vedas. And this verse says Aniruddha has been considered from the Yod to be the cause of Rig Veda. Now, a few points to meditate on. Aniruddha is the fulfiller of all the desires of the pure devotees. Pure devotees, they don't aspire anything apart from pure devotional service, always pleasing. But pure devotees also has desires. From here we can see a living entity can never be desireless. And the Mayavadis sometimes they teach that one should be free from desire. Free from desire means one should be full of transcendental desires. And that we can see. This statement is a very profound statement that pure devotees also full of desires. Their desires is transcendental desires. Always they think, oh, how can I serve Krishna in this way? And someone thinks, how can I offer beautiful flowers? Someone thinks, how can I cook some nice bhoga for Krishna? Someone says, how can I preach for Krishna? Someone say, how can I build temple for Krishna? Someone say, so many ways devotees desire. And here the statement given that Aniruddha is the fulfiller of all the desires of pure devotees. Interestingly, I was thinking Krishna is the fulfiller of all desires. Now, second point we already discussed has been considered from Yod to be the cause of the Rig Veda. And the third point is he is the creator of the mind. He is the creator of the mind. On this subject, I have, creator of the mind from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.26-28. The mind of the living entity is known by the name of Lord Aniruddha. the supreme ruler of the senses. So Aniruddha is called supreme ruler of the senses, and mind is the leader of all the senses. He possesses a bluish-black form resembling a lotus flower growing in the atom. He is found slowly by the yogis. This is an interesting point. He is found slowly by the yogis. So in purport, the system of yoga entails controlling the mind. The lord of the mind is Aniruddha. It is stated that Aniruddha is four-handed with Sudarsana, chakra, conch shell, club, and lotus flower. There are 24 forms of Vishnu, each differently named. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains to Sanatana Goswami how the 24 forms are based on the different positions of Sankha Chakra Gada Padma. We calculate it'll come 24. Each personality will have four different locations. Someone's holding the conch shell at the top, someone at the bottom, all like this way. So among these 24 forms, Sankarsana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and Vasudev are depicted very nicely in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where it stated that Aniruddha is worshipped by the yogis. Aniruddha is worshipped by the yogis because they meditate on that form because he is the leader of all the senses. The controlling second one, meditation upon voidness is a modern invention of the fertile brain of some speculator. Actually, the process of yoga meditation as prescribed in this verse should be fixed upon the form of Aniruddha. So at least we know that in Bhagavad Gita, the form, 400 form is mentioned for the yogis, is actually the form of Aniruddha. By meditating on Aniruddha, one can become free from the agitation of acceptance and rejections. Basically, the demands of the mind, agitation of the mind. The function of mind is acceptance and rejecting. So one will get control over one's mind by meditating on Aniruddha, because he is the lord of the mind. When one's mind is fixed upon Aniruddha, one gradually becomes God realized. He approaches the pure status of Krishna consciousness, which is the ultimate goal of yoga. By controlling one's mind through yoga process, then further develops the attempt to devotional service. So this is some of the points on Lord Aniruddha, who is actually the creator of the mind, how yogis meditate on Lord Aniruddha's form and get purified and further progress towards the devotional service. Now, one more point is given, the fourth plenary expansion of Vishnu. He is, we just discussed, fourth plenary expansion of Vishnu, the Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. That's one of the point. Now I looked into this. This is Aniruddha is also the cause of Mahavishnu, from whose breathing the Rig Veda appeared. This statement, why I was making it, we understand that from Mahasankarsana Mahavishnu comes, but here it says Aniruddha is also the cause of Mahavishnu. Any comments, Vishnu Gadaprabhu would like to share something on this? How Aniruddha is also the cause of Mahavishnu.
I don't have a comment.
You don't.
You're saying that, of course, there's two Chaturvyuhas, that. So Lord Krishna expands first as Lord Balaram. Then Lord Balaram expands as Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. So that's one Aniruddha, right? One Aniruddha is there. So from that, and then from Sankarshan, there Narayan, and then from Narayan, the second Chaturvyuha, like that.
Yes. And each and every spiritual planetary system, spiritual planets, Vaikuntha Loka, also for the original Chaturvyuha, they expand into further, Chaturvyuhas to perform, to be the, to the Lord and of each and every Vaikuntha Loka.
All four of them, or just one of them?
All four.
Where did you get that information?
I read in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Okay. We were reading the other day in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Mahasankarshan is the maintainer of both the material and spiritual worlds, and that he maintains all those. But perhaps, yeah, could be.
Yeah, I can share it. I think I read it in a few times, a couple of places, that the original Chaturvyuha, from this original Chaturvyuha, they expand, they become, for one Vaikuntha planet, they expand and they come there. So like that, it is mentioned. I can share it, after the class. That's my understanding. So I'll revisit those things. Now, the second point is, yeah, one of the interesting thing, Aniruddha has a very interesting pastimes in here. I don't know. There's another things to consider actually. Aniruddha is mentioned as a son of Krishna here, a son of Krishna here in this purport. Purport said that in the incarnation of Lord Krishna, Aniruddha appeared as the son of the Lord. But we know that Aniruddha, the name is, his son of Pradyumna. Aniruddha is son of Pradyumna. Krishna's grandson is Aniruddha. The eldest son of Rukmini, Pradyumna, was married with Mayavati from his very birth, and afterwards he married to Rukmavati, the daughter of his maternal uncle, Rukmi. From Rukmavati, Pradyumna had a son named Aniruddha. So in this purport, it is said that Krishna's son as Aniruddha. Yeah. Am I right here? Where it is? Yeah, purport, I think. Yeah. Adi Chatur was the original expansion from Baladeva, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. All of them are Vishnu Tattvas, or non-different personalities of Godhead. In the incarnation of Sri Ram, all these expansions manifested. And Aniruddha is also cause of Mahavishnu. And then he says, in the incarnation of Lord Krishna, Aniruddha appeared as the son of the Lord. How you understand from this? And Krishna book and Bhagavatam, the other places is the grandson. So anyway, Aniruddha has a very interesting story. We know that his appearance is very, very beautiful and handsome. And Krishna has his own pastimes, how wonderful he acts. So Banasur, as a demon, atheistic, he has a very beautiful daughter, Usha. And Usha actually has a dream of Aniruddha. In her dream, Usha saw Aniruddha. And Usha's friend, I forgot what's her name. Usha's friend, she's a Chitralekha or something. Yeah, she is expert in some kind of art. She can bring all these different personalities picture, draw. She can draw from anywhere from the world. So she draw all the pictures of the wonderful, beautiful looking personalities. And Usha was watching one by one, and finally she saw Krishna. And she felt, a little close. Then she said, no, then Pradyumna. Then finally she saw Aniruddha. This is the person I'm in love with. So interestingly, Usha, sorry, I think if I'm not wrong, it's Chitraleka or something. So she brought Aniruddha from Dwarka and kidnapped. You can say she kidnapped. She brought Aniruddha from Dwarka in sleeping condition, brought to the place of Banasur. And when she brought, and finally they had affair, and Aniruddha and Usha they had affair, and Banasur comes to know this after a long time. He comes to know that this is happening. So he captured Aniruddha. This is all Leela of Narad Muni also. So then Narad Muni comes and he says, look, you're looking for Aniruddha? He's at Banasur's place. He's been captured. So Krishna, and along with all other associates, they come and war take place. And Usa gets married to Anirudh, and Anirudh comes home with Usha. So that's one of the very beautiful story to hear in Krishna book. But apart from this pastime, we can see how Aniruddha the yogis meditate on Aniruddha. He purifies the mind. He bestows the desires of the pure devotees. And he's the original expansion, one of the quadruple expansion of Lord Krishna, Chaturviha. And he comes and helps in different pastimes, as Lord Ramachandra's pastime. He comes, Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna. I assume Shatrugna is the incarnation of Aniruddha. So with this, I will stop. It's 8:32. The two subjects we discussed. One, we discussed about Mother Devaki, how Vidura has compared Mother Devaki as personification of Vedas, giving birth to the personification of Vedas to Krishna. Then also he asked about well-being of Aniruddha here primarily. So I would like to open for questions, comments, corrections. What should we do? The several points I brought about Aniruddha and the Vedas, which is the original Vedas. You want to say something, Vishnu? Of course, two places it came from the lecture. So maybe in lecture part, we may say, we can ignore part if that may be incorrectly stated. But I want to hear from you.
We won't ignore it. Well, you first about Aniruddha. Aniruddha. So, generally in coming to conclusions about Vedic information, we look at the preponderance of evidence. So, and we understand it in that way. So even though here in this purport, it says, Srila Prabhupada says that Aniruddha is the son of Krishna. What does that mean? We have this other information that he's the son of Pradyumna, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you can think about it. Krishna says he's the father of all living entities, right? Isn't it? Does he? Aham bija pradapita. He's the father of all living. But you have your father. You have your father. Now, who's your real father? Is it Krishna, or is it really that your father? So, in that sense, of course, Pradyumna is also. Aniruddha is also the son of Krishna. Although, if you were technical, he's the grandson of Krishna. So, looking at the whole picture, it's not necessarily contradictory. Do you follow?
Yeah.
That's how I understand it. And about the four Vedas, originally there was one Veda. We know that's described repeatedly, whether in Srimad Bhagavatam and elsewhere in Prabhupada's literature. Now, if you have one Veda, it's like your name is Krishna Kirtan Prabhu, and you have other names, isn't it?
Yeah, couple of, not many.
Nice names or some other names. Yeah. So it was only one name originally. And of course it included all the other parts. It included all of them. It included the Rik, all the parts of the Rik, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva. So generally speaking, the scholars say the Rig Veda was the original Veda. That's what they say, isn't it? Did you know this?
Yeah.
They say it's the oldest original Veda. But of course, Atharva Veda is also there, and Yajur Veda means that's where the sacrifices are mentioned in detail. Various Yajur Veda. And Atharva Veda, according to Hridayananda Maharaj, I've never read the Atharva Veda, but Atharva Veda contains a lot of he says a lot of spells and kinds of things like that. So they're all part of the original one Veda, and then they're broken down separately. So you can make an argument that way. I really can't give a conclusive thing, but as you pointed out, you might say the original Veda, or Srila Prabhupada says Atharva Veda, someplace Rig Veda, someplace Yajur Veda. Okay, but it was only one Veda. The point is there was only one Veda, and then although the four part he didn't Vyasadeva didn't make up new ones, but he just broke it down. They were already there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But coming from Vyasadeva is very important because he's the compiler of the Vedas. He knows what is the Veda, original Veda, right?
Well, the Vedas were already there.
Right.
They were already there.
Name also should have been very clear.
So they were just like nowadays in school. You know, we have people who have attention deficit disorder, ADHD. So in those circumstances, what are you recommended to do? Break the task down into small little bits so that people can really so the kids who are distractible, they can really get it. Break it down. So here we have Kali Yuga. We're all kind of you put always disturbed in mind. So break it down from one big huge Veda, whether it's Rik, Yajur, or Atharva. There was one big Veda. Okay, break it down. That's Vyasadeva. His compiling it means he put it all in one place, but then categorized it so it could be assimilated and by different kinds of people. And some of his disciples, they focused on the Rig Veda, some focused on the Atharva Veda, some focused on the Sama Veda, like that. So the main point is that there was originally one Veda, that's true. And then he compiled it together and broke it down into.
So from this, I can understand that also that if somebody gets into argument, it will be very difficult, to decide.
Yeah, so it's not. So from this, we would say if somebody wants to say the Rig Veda is the original Veda, we're not going to fight with them. Okay, right. But originally we're not. We will I'd say okay, but originally there was one Veda. The one Veda was it. Yeah, and then it was broken down by it was categorized by Vyasadeva.
Thank you.
And about Chitralekha. Chitralekha, they have what nowadays people call a forensic artist. Have you ever heard of that? A forensic artist? Like when they say, usually when they have a suspect, then they have somebody sit with the person. They make drawings of is this what the suspect, is this the mouth is? Is this where eyes like? So Chitralekha, she was like that, only with some extra mystic power. That makes sense?
I thought she could see from far and
and she was also getting input from Usha also, isn't it?
Yeah, confirming. She was confirming.
Yes. So this is the way. Yeah, like that. I mean, not far.
Yeah. Right. Thank you.
And the verse was you were saying about desire.
Yeah.
Lord Chaitanya said, Mukti Bhakti Siddhi Kama Sakala Ashanta Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ata Eva Shanta. You know that verse? Nice verse. Yeah. That everybody mukti, somebody's looking for mukti, so that's a desire. Bhakti, we want material sense gratification. Siddhi, we want yoga siddhis. Everybody is looking for kama. That's all kama, material, some selfish desire. Krishna Bhakti Nishkama, but a person who's a Krishna Bhakta, Ati Eva Shanta, Nishkama, they have no material desire. there. That was your point. Just to emphasize that. Good point you made there.
Thank
And
you.
it's not just the Mayavad, it's also the Buddhists particularly, they focus on trying to extinguish desire. Not just
Sometimes I wonder what kind of life they would be having. Even though we have so many things in devotional service to meditate and contemplate and aspire, desire everything, how they would be living as many times I ponder.
it's an impoverished life. Yes. So Prabhupada called it sometimes spiritual suicide because you got to abnegate all things, but that's not Lord Krishna's method. It's very difficult. Krishna says it's klesho diktarastesham avyaktasakta chetasam. It's very, very troublesome to try to go on that path. But people do. People do. And just the last point is that Aniruddha also is as the deity of the Ashtanga yogis. That means he's Paramatma is like Aniruddha. And there's just not just one. Aniruddha shows up more than once. He's in the first Chatavyuha, the second Chatavyuha, and also as Shivadakshay Vishnu.
That's interesting thing. So we can say Aniruddha is Paramatma?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Baba. I think a lot of clarity we discussed today. Anything else from you? Others has any questions or comments? Yes, 42. We have few more minutes.
So Vidura is asking all these questions, but he already knows all of them have gone.
He didn't know.
Yeah, he did. He knew. He was there at Prabhasa Kshetra. This is after he was unceremoniously kicked out of the palace by Duryodhana and company, although he had been invited by Dhritarashtra to give him advice prior to the Battle of Kurukshetra. Then he went on pilgrimage, and then on his pilgrimage, he went to Prabhasa Kshetra, where this whole conflagration of taking the rods and of all the Yadus killing themselves. It already took place, and he knew that. So then, even though he was on his way back, this is on his way back from there towards Hastinapur because he's going to preach to Dhritarashtra again. He's asking all these questions.
Isn't it Pravas Kshetra is a spiritual place?
Yes.
Just like Kurukshetra.
Yes, but while he was at Kurukshetra, he learned that all the Yadus they expired there. In the previous verse, and Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that his inquiries therefore are very queer.
He says, Prabhupada
Up,
says,
up, 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 up. Right there, 20. See 21. What does it say? 20. Yeah.
The place of pilgrimage at Pravas, it came to his knowledge that all his relatives had died due to violent passion, just as an entire forest burns due to fire produced by the friction of bamboos. After this, he proceeded west, where the river Saraswati flows, and then he visits all these places.
He visited places before. We're talking about this is maybe 30 years after the Battle of Kurukshetra took place. So there's plenty of time here. So
right. But yeah, I don't know. If he knows, then why will he ask?
So there's the purport there. Srila Prabhupada says his questions seem queer. Yeah, look at it. It says, see, this is the verse we did last Friday. Well, similar. Maybe the next one. I don't know. Maybe the next purport, I don't know, or the previous purport, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, the previous one, maybe, I don't know. Oh, I know, it must be where he starts asking about the welfare of the different relatives of Krishna. Yeah. We did that verse last Friday.
Okay.
Yeah,
Last Friday was 25. Huh? Yeah. This one. This is the one.
I think, yeah. Let's see. Look. Yeah.
Yeah. Viduradhan asked him for the news of the family of the Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead.
Yeah, here, this inquiry appears to be very clear, because he already knows they're gone. He already knows. But Srila Jiva Goswami states that the news was shocking to Vidura, who therefore inquired again.
Again, to check if really.
Yeah. So he's just, it's a psychological,
Sometimes
it
you
was
don't
just
believe.
so shocking to him that he really, is it really, that's what happened? Like
That's
that.
interesting. Oh, that's interesting. I'm glad we have this purport. Otherwise, would have been trouble. Right? Because that's mindset. Because sometimes you're shocked. You can't believe this happened. You inquire 2-3 times.
Yes. Yeah.
Just like Maharaj Yudhishthir, the death of what is his name? The elephant, Aswathama. He was also kind of not. He mentioned about Aswathama's father, Dranacharya. So sometimes you want to double check if it's really.
Yes. Double check is good. Yeah.
So that's really helps this statement purpose purport here. Otherwise, would have been like, why is doing that? So until that time, he was not clear. He really wanted to see. So his mood is in anxiety and curiosity, looks like, of inquiry. Are they really doing well? Everything okay? So he wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. It helped on this. So anyone has more comments? Okay, we can stop it here then. Thank you. I'll share from the Chaitanya Charitamrita what I had found about the Chaturvyas, how they're expanding, whatever I could, I have it. Thank you. Vancha kalpatarvyascha kripasya devacha dhanam savana. Hare Krishna. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for the information.